Hey there everyone, and I thank you guys so much for tuning in to yet another episode of My Orchid Adventures with me, Maria Young. So in today's episode, I'm going to be showing you my Psychopsis orchid, and we are actually going to be doing an experiment together with it. Now, if you guys watched my last episode that we talked about all of the amazing facts about the Psychopsis orchid, especially the facts that most do not know about, you guys know that the Psychopsis orchid can do such phenomenal things. So we're going to test out that theory today. Now, if you guys did not watch that video and you guys want to see that video, because I suggest you watch it, I did share some phenomenal facts on the Psychopsis orchid. So indeed, click right here and you will be taken to that video. And with that being said, let's go ahead and get this Psychopsis party started, and let's do it right now. Bam, 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 and boom. But before we do that, I definitely want to give you a brief update on my extreme catasetum propagation. I have to tell you, these are doing extremely well, better than I thought that they would do. I actually told you guys that there's going to be a drying and a sealing process to this, and I didn't know how long it would take. It has been about 24 hours, and oh my, there has been such a difference in these cuttings. I have to tell you, it is completely dried and sealed, and I think it is ready to go into the container that I had mentioned in the video, but I'm actually going to wait just one more day just to be safe and sound and secure that it is actually ready. Again, it seems like it is completely dried. Oh my, I'm just so happy with this, and this is off to a good start. If you guys have not watched that video, please be sure to check it out. The propagation method is pretty extreme, but indeed, we are going to learn a lot from this experiment. And this right here, folks, is my beautiful Psychopsis orchid. Well, actually, this is not my Psychopsis orchid. This is actually an orchid that I have on sale on my eBay shop. But you guys know what? I could not pass up the opportunity of showing you just how beautiful and magnificent the Psychopsis orchid can be. Now, in the video that I talked to you guys about the facts on Psychopsis orchid, I talked to you guys about the many differences in the leaves. And I also talked to you guys about the mottling in the leaves as well that are found in some Psychopsis orchids. And I have to tell you, this right here is one of the most gorgeous and striking mottled foliage that I have ever seen. Indeed, you are seeing that heavy pattern with that maroon, kind of orangey, kind of reddish color with that nice light green. Just absolutely gorgeous. And just in case you guys wanted to know exactly what this is a species variety known as the Papilio. Now, this one in particular, this one is mine. This is the Psychopsis Mendenhall Hildos. So I was talking to an orchid grower here recently, and he was kind enough to share with me his natural method of inducing keikis on his orchids. Now, what he did that made it so phenomenal is he actually created somewhat of an illusion to the orchid where the orchid would feel as if it might be in jeopardy, and in jeopardy enough to shoot out these keikis. And I thought to myself, if it can work for keikis, why can't it work for spikes? And I have to say, I am so very thankful that he shared that method with me, because I actually had my own method that I was going to use, and my method actually was far more extreme. And you guys know that spikes can be rather sensitive, so my method with the spike equals a high probability that things might go wrong. So again, I'm thankful, and that's what we're going to be doing today. So let me go ahead and show you the two options that I had available. And the two options that I had available were either Twisty Ties or thumbtacks. So let's take a closer look at my Psychopsis orchid, and especially the spike. I had gotten the Psychopsis orchid right here, and it already had a broken spike with an alternative spike right here, the secondary one, already growing. And as you can see right now, it is currently in bud as well. And as shameful as it is, I do have to admit, in my care, I actually broke this spike right here. Now, 2 weeks ago, I had told you that I was going to do an experiment to see if I can induce some more spikes. And guess what? No inducing here. it has already started to produce a secondary spike. But that doesn't mean that we can't do something else, of which we will today. I actually believe the more the merrier. And if we have all of these nodes all throughout the spike, then why can't we try to get some more, right? Now, I do have to admit, my original method of choice would have been this thumbtack right here. But as you guys can see, the spike is so thin that there isn't a whole lot of wiggle room. But what there is a whole lot of room for is room for error. So indeed, I'm not willing to take that risk. So what we opted to do is use these twisty ties. And these twisty ties are going to create the illusion that the orchid may feel as if it is in jeopardy. Because as we twist it tightly onto the spike, it's going to put pressure on the orchid. It's going to feel something that it normally does not. Now, our plans are, once the nodes start growing and the secondary spike starts coming up, then we indeed will take off these twisty ties and release the pressure, and thereby the orchid will again grow as normal. So we're not having to make any cuts or incisions or do any damages to the orchid. Again, we're just creating the illusion. And this right here is the actual spike that we are going to be working with. And as you know, this is the node and this is where the spike broke. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to be putting the twisty ties right above the node that we are working with, which is this one right here. So we're going to go ahead and put the twisty tie right there. And then we're just going to go ahead and twist away. We're going to put some pressure on that spike. Enough pressure, but not too much. We definitely don't want the spike to snap. And we don't want to put too much pressure where it may kill it off. So there you go. I think that is tight enough, and we're just going to go ahead and do the rest. That simple, easy as pie. 1, 2, 3 ties. There goes the first node. Hoping we'll get 1, 2, 3 more, so 4 spikes off of this if everything goes well. And we're going to keep a close eye on this. As soon as I see some action within the nodes and I see definite growth, I will be removing these as soon as possible. So indeed, keep your fingers crossed and let's hope it works. Stay tuned for more. And that, my friend, is a Psychopsis experiment wrap. Now, you guys have got to let me know, do you guys think it will work? And also, if you have the option of selecting either the thumbtack method or the twisty tie method, which one would you have selected to do this experiment? And if you guys have tried something like this and it has worked, please be sure to let us know that as well, because as you guys know, the more that we know, the more that we can grow. And please be sure to share those comments below. Again, folks, I thank you guys so much for tuning in to yet another episode. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Also, if you want to join me on Facebook, I'm there at My Orchid Adventures. If you want to write or send me something, you can do it at the address below. And also, folks, I am on eBay selling some phenomenal orchids, so please be sure to join me there as well. As you guys already know, I do truly love you guys all. And with that being said, mwah!